September 11th. It's a sunny afternoon at the park by the seaside. Everyone's enjoying the beautiful afternoon. I am burning a Koran. I am not burning a Koran in remembrance of those who died on September 11th, 2001. Only the complete suppression of Islamic fascism will serve as revenge for those deaths. I am burning this Koran in protest of the violent oppression that the religion and totalitarian political system that is called Islam demands of all people. I'm burning this Koran in memory of the ancient freedoms of the English-speaking people. It's not called the Holy Koran. I kind of wanted to get one that was called the Holy Koran because we're always told that's what we have to call it. But just a regular Koran is fine. Got 2 Duraframe logs. I've got a pretty good fire going. So I think it's time for the Koran barbecue. And we can see that we have Al Koran, and on the flames it goes. It's a big book and might take a while to burn, but I've got 2 Duraflame logs there. It's crackling pretty good. President Obama didn't call me. Secretary of Defense didn't call me. General Petraeus didn't call me. The FBI didn't visit me to tell me not to do this, so I'm doing it. If all these people had, would I have done it? I don't know. I really don't blame Terry Jones for not doing it. He was under a great deal of pressure. But the thing is, all these people I have listed have taken an oath to uphold and protect the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And they have failed to fulfill this oath, meaning they are unfit to hold these offices and should resign immediately. Not fit to be President of the United States, not fit to be Secretary of Defense, not fit to be a general in the U.S. Army, and not fit to hold the position of federal law enforcement officer. These people are supposed to protect the freedoms that we have, not tell us that we can't practice them. It's going pretty good. Got a pretty good flame going. I'm just kind of improvising here. There's a lot to be said about freedom, the truth, doing what's right, the trust that's we placed in the people who run our country, whether they're elected or appointed officials of the federal government, or whether they're opinion leaders such as ministers and journalists. But all these people have a very important trust, and by and large they have failed to fulfill it. I'm not guessing that there's going to be any riots because of this. I think you have to burn a Koran under very specific circumstances to create a riot. I guess Westboro Baptist did it a few years ago, and nobody seemed to give a crap. Some other people have said they would do it today. But Terry Jones has said no. He was the one with the, all the firewood and all the Korans and, the big lawn on his church that he, was going to build a bonfire on. President Obama says that we're not at war with Islam, but by all appearances, Islam is at war with us. Not being a Muslim, not being a believer in this religion and political system, I can't say what the right thing to do is. I can't say how they should behave toward us. I can only say how we must behave toward them if we want to remain a free people and valuing the things that we have paid a great price for over the years. There have been horrible battles amongst Europeans over what religion to follow, what rights would be permitted, ranging from the 1600s all the way into quite recently in this century, and millions of people have died fighting over these issues. The conclusions that Europeans have reached about these are somewhat different. They have freedoms, but they don't have particularly strong freedoms. The Canadians don't have particularly strong freedoms either. I'm sure in Canada I would be subject to arrest for doing this. However, in the United States, I believe I still have the freedom to do this. Now, there's a police officer here. Well, there's nobody squarely watching me doing this. But I could be arrested for, I don't know, I guess burning a book in a fire pit is probably illegal. It's not firewood. It's not approved firewood. You can't burn anything in a park fire pit that's not specifically approved, I suppose. You know, a cop could bust me for something for doing this. But the important thing is that we have to continue to keep the freedoms that we as Americans have. People who run this country have decided that they're going to be shills for Islam. That under the doctrine of multiculturalism, in which certain cultures are superior to others, certain cultures have claims of grievance on other cultures, and this can behave any way they want, whereas other cultures are regarded as bad and evil cultures and must submit to the aggrieved victim cultures. I don't buy this. I don't believe that this is a correct and acceptable doctrine. The academics of all this are quite complicated. I've tried to study up on Gramsci, but everything is explained. He basically said that I don't know. He redefined the concept of the proletariat to be people like criminals and other kinds of social outcasts. I think I may need to stir the fire here a little bit. Freshen things up a little bit. But like I said, I've got two Duraflame logs. This should keep burning for quite a long while. I won't have enough time for a complete display of the burning. However, it's about halfway gone at this point. It's about halfway gone. Making good progress toward being 100% gone. Basically, the cultural elite of this country has sold out to the Islamists the same way they sold out to the communists. They bought the same kind of disinformation, the same kind of BS. And the thing is, communism was a phenomenon that lasted for a relatively short period of time. Islam has been an enemy of other people's freedom from the very beginning, and it's been generally quite successful at that through most of its history. When they've wanted to conquer something, they've conquered it. The only time that Islam has had a serious problem is in this century with the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. This led to the former sections of the Ottoman Empire mostly coming under the control of the British, and now that allows the Islamists to scream colonialism, well, it was quite by accident. It used to be colonized by the Turks, and then you were colonized for a brief time by the British, who then let you do whatever you want, which was probably a serious mistake. And it likes to be stirred up every once in a while. Burning a copy of the Holy Koran on a sunny Saturday afternoon, September 11th, 2009.